Today is a huge milestone. We just hit over 1 million Instagram followers, and today we're going into the war room to show you behind the scenes, and I believe this is the first time we're ever going into our office meeting room to show you exactly what it is that we did, the different monetization strategies, exactly how much we made, and the things that you want to definitely model and the things that you want to avoid when we show you the mistakes that we make. By the end of this video, you're going to understand what does it take to really build a following, what does it take to create engaging content, and finally, what does it take to actually monetize, breaking down to you the different revenue streams that you want to have. So let's begin with the 3-part process, and then after that, I'm going to be showing you exactly the breakdown and the different income streams. Okay, so let's begin with number 1. And step number 1 is really deciding which niche or rather theme page that you want to create on Instagram. So for me personally, it is a branded page, but if you are starting out right now and if you're thinking about monetization, before you even think about monetization, it is about thinking of a specific theme. On Instagram, you'll see all these different themes, whether it is sports cars, whether it's playing soccer, whether it's Iron Man figurines. Now, the reason why you want to have a theme is because you're going to realize that it's going to be way easier to monetize when you either want to promote products, whether you're going to sell shoutouts, whether you want to get endorsements. All these different revenue streams is going to be a whole lot higher, and you'll be able to command higher prices, not when you have a generic page that covers everything, but rather when you dig deep. So step number 1, when it comes to monetization, to increase how much it is that you want to charge, think about one very specific theme. So for me, on my page, what do I talk about? I talk about online marketing, I talk about sales, I talk about mindset. But under that big umbrella, what would that be? That would be considered entrepreneurship. By the way, I wasn't exactly early in the Instagram game. In fact, if anything at all, I was actually late to the game, right? You'll see that in my chart, in terms of the growth, it only literally happened in like the last 1.5, 2 years when I really paid attention to these steps. Okay, so that's the first part. Number 2 is to model. And when I say model, I'm not talking about boobs, bikinis, and butts. I'm talking about modeling what works in your niche. The topic that you picked. If it's about fitness, if it's about skateboards, it's about fast cars, sports cars, if it's about Iron Man figurines, then you want to think about what is proven to work in that specific market in terms of their content, in terms of what videos are proven to be viral, that's highly shareable, that has got high views, high engagements. What type of images? Is it a specific color scheme? Is it a before-after picture? Is it a specific angle? How often are they posting? The last thing you want to do is to reinvent the wheel. You want to think about, in that specific topic, who are the people out there that's creating this content? Follow their pages, whether it's 20, 30, 50 pages, and take a look at the consistency, the color scheme, the frequency, the different angles, their titles, because now this gives you a benchmark on what's proven to work. So I call this content hacking. Now, hacking is not duplicating, okay? Hacking is taking elements that's proven to work and then utilizing it as the benchmark of what it is that you should be doing so that you can do things better. So now you're going to create these videos, these images based on what's proven to be viral. And the way you do that is, and I'm going to go tactical here. Now there are a lot of different sites that can show you exactly how to make that happen. So for example, there is BuzzSumo, where you could literally take a look at different channels to see what has been doing well. You can also utilize other sites like Social Blade to analyze channels in terms of how frequent, how the different type of posts that they make in your market. So now you're going to follow the same type of images or videos that's proven to be engaging and viral, and you're going to do it better because now you have an idea of what it is that you need to do. So if you take a look at my stuff, what am I modeling? You'll notice that on my page, I have, for example, a lot of these Q&A style videos where somebody submits a video, they ask a question, and then it's me holding my camera answering that person, right? Now, I didn't come up with that format, somebody else did. But when I saw that format, I thought, wow, that is really good. So what are you looking at? You're looking at the format of which content is being created. Sometimes you'll see that on my Instagram, there is these little cartoons, these different images. Now these images, even though they're original, they're literally hand-drawn by my team, following these viral images, and even though it's my face and my little caricature in there, that concept may not necessarily be original, right? Somebody else has done it. That's all modeled from something that was proven, okay? And then that brings us to number 3, how you monetize. Now I'm gonna break down the different types of methods to monetize and how much we made when it comes to a following of $1 million. And you're gonna see why. First of all, the answer is actually gonna surprise you because it's not the conventional method. And I'm gonna be also showing you why the conventional method in most cases is actually wrong. Now let me show you what the incorrect way is. Okay, so let me explain to you what most influencers do. Most influencers, they monetize by literally pimping out their name and their brand. They get some endorsement for some product, for some brand, saying, you know what, we'll pay you like $1,000 to go make a post and tell the world that product is amazing. So what do? They say this product is an amazing product, go buy this product. Ultimately, how they make their money is in pimping out their brand, and to me, that's not a business. And that is why there are a lot of influencers out there, but they're broke because they're only utilizing this first method of monetization, selling some sort of shout out. Now, shout outs can be literally just tagging a page, saying go follow them if you want to result. So for example, let's say I have a theme page for Hot Toys Iron Man. Now Hot Toys is a brand for many of these toys, which is something I actually collect. And there are a lot of these pages out there where the entire thing they talk about is Marvel toys and the latest models from Hot Toys. And all they do is post up content on Iron Man, Batman, whatever, right? So how they monetize then would be to shout out a vendor, for example, a shop or a store that sells these Iron Man stuff. So can you imagine if right now my passion is in collecting these collectibles on Iron Man, and every single day I've built a following, and now a store that wants to sell more Iron Man products comes to me and they say, hey man, I noticed you've got a great Instagram page. Would you mind giving us a shout out saying if you would like to buy your next Iron Man online, you could use a 10% discount, go follow this page, okay? And then now, because I'm sending them leads, that's very targeted. Why? Because we're utilizing this step here, right? We're having a theme page. When I know that all of the people that follow me are people who love this kind of stuff, I'm sending them leads. This is when I'm able to command a price point, and the amount that we make, that we are offered every single month, is approximately $2,000. Now, if you take a look at my page, you'll realize that I almost never do shoutouts at all. Because for me, this is not a good monetization angle, which is an angle that most people utilize. Okay, so for us, if we wanted to take on the different shoutouts, a typical shoutout price point for a page with 1 million followers can command about $100 to $400 pretty easily, depending on the nature of the business and the company. So that's the first revenue stream, which we actually do not use at all. And in fact, I'm going to give you a bonus number 4. Okay, let me share with you what this bonus is in a second. Now this is called an open loop in marketing, where I tease you and where there's more if you stay till the end, okay? Number 4, you're gonna realize is actually the real money maker. You're probably thinking, okay, so even if I built this following, how can I easily contact these people to sell shoutouts? So there are many third-party sites out there where there's a platform that specifically just sells shoutouts that you can sign up for. So for example, one of them would be like Shoutcart, where you literally sign up as an influencer and people, businesses, entrepreneurs will go to the pages like Shoutcart where they can decide which influencer they want to buy shoutouts from. Okay, so number 2 would be through affiliate marketing, selling somebody else's product in exchange for some sort of commission. Now this is when a person, if they're a little bit more savvy when it comes to monetization, will do. so that now they're not just selling their name and their following for a fixed amount, rather they are promoting some sort of product. Now this is what I do. Now I don't do affiliate marketing much on Instagram, but I do sell my own products. And the way I do that is through swipe ups. So this is a good revenue stream for us. Let me show you exactly how much we make every month from 1 million followers. So you'll notice that once a week, usually, I will do like a story. I'll shoot a video that says, hey everybody, if you've always wanted to monetize what you know, your passion, your life experience, then all you gotta do is swipe up to get a free copy of my book. So for example, platform closing. So I'll hold my book over there and then I'll get them to swipe up. Right now, normally what a swipe up is, and this feature will be unlocked after you have 10,000 followers, is if you have a following of 1 million people, I want to be conservative, so I'll use 5%, okay? 5% of 1 million people is approximately 50,000 people. So 50,000 people would watch a story. I'm trying to match that with my actual numbers. Now my actual numbers, that while this was true about 2 months ago, I actually feel that this number is dropping, and I'm gonna revise that to 3%. I would say the numbers are closer to 30,000. So let's be more conservative and let's utilize these numbers, okay? 30,000. So what happens next is, out of the 30,000 people that watch the story, I would say, oops, I just kind of elbowed Iron Man over here. 10% would actually do the swipe up. So that means about 3,000 people would actually swipe up, which is kind of like a click to a website. It's like a website visit. So now I'm getting 3,000 people to go to the site. Now, if you have a solid sales process, so that means, let's say now I have an Iron Man theme page, and now I am promoting either some sort of affiliate product that I can promote. Perhaps it's some Iron Man or Marvel related product that's on Amazon and I'm getting paid commissions. And by the way, it just occurred to me, I understand why now it wasn't 5%, it was 3%. It was because of Instagram giveaways. If you watch my other videos, I'll put them in the description box below. I've been doing Instagram giveaways, I think like we did it 2-3 times now. And I've been showing you the results as well. And you can see that it's because it's not so targeted, therefore the percentage is not as high. You know, it took me a while to come up with these numbers. Okay, so 3,000 clicks, right? What is the significance? We need to know that there's two things happening right now. We don't have to pay for a cost per click, because normally you have to pay Facebook or other paid media. And usually a cost per click is typically about $1 if you get targeted clicks on Facebook. Now this would range depending on the market that you're in. The second thing that's happening is I'm actually making money from each click. So depending on the sales process, depending on upsells, depending on the back end, depending on how strong and compelling that sales video is, or the checkout process. Usually my sales process has a very conservative $2 earnings per click. So what that means is, if there's 3,000 people visiting, I will usually make about $6,000 in sales. But what that also means is I'm saving $3,000 on paid ads that I would have incurred if I didn't have this asset created. Now this is only from doing a swipe up once a week. So if you were to compound this with 4 weeks, that would be approximately 24K. So swipe ups and product promotion, this is a huge part of monetization. That brings us to number 3, sponsorships. Now you'll notice that a lot of times I'm staying in hotels, getting all these different things, and there are times when I actually don't have to pay for it, okay? And the reason for that is because there would be companies that says, hey, would you be willing to just utilize our products or service? And some of them even have no strings attached. And what I mean by that is they don't even want you to tag them. They want you to be seen utilizing their products, because tagging them today might seem like it's too obvious that it's a paid ad. So many times you don't get paid in cash, but you get a payment in kind. So it could be the service, it could be a hotel, it could be accommodation. And I would say that from this alone, now this is something that I'm not actively looking for. I'm not chasing it. This really varies. I would say in a year, maybe last year we got 30K in free stuff that's not cash. So I'd say maybe it's 2K a month on average. So over here would be another monetization method. Finally, here's the bonus, okay? The bonus that I talked about, which is the most powerful one, is actually the intangible. The intangible would be things like your goodwill, credibility. It could be things like speaking gigs, engagement gigs, being featured on news outlets, radio, TV, newspaper, whatever it might be. Just because now you have a following. In other words, this last piece here that's intangible is actually the biggest payoff. Now, what if the biggest payoff was not in monetary kind, but rather the doors of opportunity that will be open for you because now you're seen as a thought leader, an expert, or an authority in that niche, in that theme. Ultimately, if you build a following for that page in that specific theme, you know what naturally happens? Magic happens. The rest of the world will suddenly see you, your business, your company as the authority, as the niche, because you now have that following. And because of that, you will be invited on podcasts, you'll be asked to be on interviews, to be on a YouTube video, to do collabs, and the network and the people that you meet and the opportunities that will open up as a direct result of having 1 million followers is going to be way bigger than how much you actually monetize. Hopefully, from this journey, what I'm trying to inspire you to do is to show you that even though this is, in terms of dollars and cents, the amount, the true value of monetization is actually not here, but over here. Now, as always, let me know in the comments below what your biggest takeaway is. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel for future videos just like this one.